On the conversation, I was hoping to get an answer on the settlements, but we'll do that again. David Keyes is a spokesperson for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I want to bring in Diana Buttu, a former legal advisor to Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Diana, ultimately, what does this move do to, let's just be frank here, what has been a stalled peace process for a long time? So to people who say that this stalls the peace process more, is that true?
Absolutely. Look, I think it's very important to keep in mind what this pronouncement has done. What President Trump has said is that might is right. There's a reason that there isn't a single embassy in Jerusalem. There's a reason that not a single country around the world has recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital, and it was because it was acquired through force. One of the very basic tenets of international law is that you can't steal land by force. And so what President Trump is now saying is that it is okay to take land by force, and he's actually rewarding Israel for doing so. So what he's now doing is he's giving Israel a green light to continue to build and expand settlements in Jerusalem, to continue to demolish Palestinian homes, and to continue to evict Palestinians from their homes and those Palestinians who are living in Jerusalem. He has put a nail in the coffin of the peace process, and what he's done more than that is he's sanctioned and allowed this policy of might is right to take place, not just here, but throughout the world.
The king of Saudi Arabia has said to the president in the conversation, moving the U.S. embassy is a dangerous step that provokes the feelings of Muslims around the world. King Abdullah of Jordan has said that it will provoke Muslims and Christians alike. Pope Francis has talked about it. In the end, though, have these other countries has the Palestinian Authority done enough to advance this cause? Because the last time you and I talked, one of the things you were telling me is that Palestinians on the ground are frustrated by everybody. They're frustrated by the Israelis, they're frustrated by the Palestinian Authority, who they see as the security apparatus for the Israelis, and they're frustrated that everybody in the Arab world makes lots of noise about Palestinians, but nobody makes a lot of movement for them.
You're absolutely right, Ali, and that hasn't changed at all. In fact, it's now gotten even deeper. Let's be clear. This is President Trump who's made the announcement, not the Palestinian Authority. That being said, I don't think that the Palestinian Authority has done enough to push back on this issue, and neither has the rest of the world. For 25 years, as this peace process has taken shape and taken place, all we've heard is mealy-mouthed statements on the part of diplomats, and all we've heard from the Palestinian Authority is a demand to return to negotiations which are bound to fail and have continued to fail for 25 years. Instead, what they should have done and what they should be doing now is pushing to hold Israel accountable. We should be pushing for sanctions. We should be pushing to have Israel isolated and pushing for Israel to be held accountable. And what Trump is doing instead is rewarding Israel. So now's the time for the rest of the world to wake up, see what these policies, where they've taken us, and to begin to act to hold Israel accountable. Otherwise, the consequences are not just throwing this place into disorder, but throwing international law into disorder as well.
Diana, thanks for joining us. Diana Buttu is a former advisor to Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas.